Welcome back to the Cheater's Guide to FNaF World. Next up in the list of player moves is the red attacks. This is the largest color category and seems rather arbitrary when it comes to what all is included. For the most part, red moves are offensive weapons with more complex formulas than orange attacks. However, this is not true of all of them. Because of this, there's not a whole lot I can say to generalize the category, but I will go over some formula basics here. Similar to the orange attacks, we have a base value, V, the character's level, L, and the damage multipliers, M. But several red attacks have an additional randomized variable I'll represent with R, and there may be variances in how the formula is arranged. All red moves work the same regardless of area and difficulty, but some may behave differently on bosses as opposed to standard enemies. All can be mimicked by the Mimic Ball. Jumpscare is a stun attack used by Foxy, Phantom Marionette, and Golden Freddy. Its description reads, stuns enemies for a few seconds. It stuns all standard enemies on screen for 2 to 8 seconds, and bosses for 1 to 3 seconds. If you see a named enemy attack pop up, you can use Jumpscare to stop the attack from occurring. It's good for strategic usage and can greatly assist a weaker party. Bash Jam is an attack used by Bonnie and Toy Bonnie. Its description reads, low damage all enemies. It targets all enemies on screen and has a base value of 10 to 29, with up to 5 additional damage points for each enemy. It scales with the character's level and can be increased by damage multipliers. It's a relatively weak attack, but it can be good for early game usage with multiple opponents since it will always hit all of them. Munchies is an attack used by Toy Bonnie and Balloon Boy. Its description reads, damage over time effect. It targets all enemies on the screen and will attack each one 3 times. If an enemy is defeated before this attack is completed, the Munchie currently attacking that enemy will disappear. This can also occur right as Munchies is used, causing one to appear over a blank space and then immediately disappear. Munchies has a base value of 5 to 9, scales with level, and is increased by multipliers. If the multiplier is used after Munchies but while the attack is still on the screen, it will not be affected. Throwing Munchies again will overwrite the existing one so that it doesn't finish. Since it attacks 3 times, its total damage will be 3 times the given amount, and its slow pacing allows it to deal damage while you use other attacks. It's a decent early game move. Poppers is an attack used by Mangle and JJ. Its description reads, explosive in high numbers. It targets all enemies on screen and has a base value of 50 to 99, with up to 4 additional damage points for each enemy. It scales with level and is increased by multipliers. Each time the attack is used, 3 to 8 poppers will be thrown at the enemies. There must be at least 9 of them on the screen for them to explode, but the amount does not affect the damage value. If you throw poppers while they are currently exploding, the ones you're throwing will also explode. Poppers is useful if you have both Mangle and JJ on your party or one of them in a Mimic Ball. That way you can more quickly get enough of them on the screen to explode. I-Beam is an attack used by Withered Bonnie and Endoplush. Its description reads, medium damage, chance of critical hit. It can target up to 4 enemies, though it doesn't always, and it can also miss entirely. It has a base value of 50 to 79. It scales with level and is increased by multipliers, but it scales faster than most other attacks since the level power is doubled. It also has a chance to do a critical hit, which adds 1000 damage points. This makes it a useful higher powered attack. Balloons is an attack used by Balloon Boy and JJ. Its description reads, 3 random damage hits. It launches 3 balloons, each of which seeks out a target, whether the same one or a different one. Its formula is more complicated, as shown below. While it scales with level and is increased by multipliers, the fact that its base value also has multiplication in it means that if this value is 0, the attack as a whole will do 0 damage, but the 1 added on to the end ensures that each balloon will always do at least 1 damage. That's why even with highly leveled characters, a balloon will still often deal only 1 damage point. Hot Cheese is an attack used by Foxy and Balloon Boy. Its description reads, damage over time effect. It summons 3 globs of cheese each time it's used. A maximum of 10 globs can be on the screen at once, so if you throw it more than 3 times, some will disappear. The cheese burns any enemy it touches, meaning if it's not touching anyone, it won't do anything. That's the main benefit of throwing it more than once. Its base value is 5 to 9 and scales with level, but it is not affected by multipliers. It lasts for 61 seconds, and during that time it has a 1 in 5 chance of hitting every 1/4 of a second, meaning it can do a decent amount of damage over time. Hot Cheese 2 is an augmented version of Hot Cheese used by Withered Foxy, Phantom Marionette, and Nightmare Foxy. Its description reads, hotter cheese, more damage. It works essentially the same as Hot Cheese, except that it summons 7 globs and has a base value of 53 to 56. Both cheese attacks adopt the power level of the last character that threw it, so if you use 2 different characters to throw cheese, all the cheese on the screen will scale to the last one you used. Hot Cheese will also increase to the base power of Hot Cheese 2 if both are used, and vice versa. Therefore, for optimal cheese damage, make sure Hot Cheese 2 is used last and with the highest leveled character. Pizza Wheel is an attack used by Freddy and Withered Bonnie. Its description reads, multiple hits for multiple enemies. It summons 3 to 6 pizzas and can hit any enemy on screen with each pizza. Its base value is 1 to 2, scales with level, and increases with multipliers. This is a rather weak attack and is best used in the early game. It is also the attack used for the chip Pizza Fury, where it uses the last character to throw an attack for its power level. Pizza Wheel 2 is an augmented version used by Phantom Triangle, and Nightmare Bonnie. Its description reads, bigger pizza, better damage. It behaves the same except that it summons larger pizzas that have a base value of 21 to 22. While its damage is higher and its ability to hit all enemies multiple times is useful, it's still not the best attack to rely on later in the game unless the character using it is sufficiently leveled. Freddles is an attack used by Nightmare Freddy and Nightmare Fredbear as of Update 2. Its description reads, Storm of Freddles causes high damage. It summons 5 to 14 Freddles, which have a 1 in 3 chance to bite any opponent every 10th of a second. It has a base value of 20 to 29, scales with level, and increases with multipliers. This can add up to a decent amount of damage, though some luck is involved. Also be aware that if you use another character while Freddles are still on the screen, their power level will scale to the attack power of that character. Freddles is used for the chip Freddle Fury, and uses the last character to throw an attack for its power level. Springlocks is an attack used by Springtrap and Spring Bonnie. Its description reads, maximum area damage. It can target up to 4 enemies, though it usually hits only 1 or 2. It has a base value of 201 to 1200, scales with level, and is increased by multipliers. It's a good attack for later in the game and can be thrown multiple times without needing to wait for it to be completed. Mega Bite is an attack used by Nightmare Fredbear, Nightmare, Fredbear, and Nightmare BB. Its description reads, maximum damage bite. It's a more powerful and complex version of Bite or Bite 2, with a base value of 300 to 399. Like the weaker Bite attacks, it can hit up to 4 opponents, though it doesn't always. It scales with level and can be increased by multipliers, and its level power also doubles, meaning it gains power more quickly as you level up. This is a very good late game attack prior to entering the Halloween update. Mega Virus is an attack used by Animdude and Coffee. Its description reads, virus drains enemy life. It attacks all enemies and lasts for 50 seconds, during which it has a 50% chance of hitting every 4th of a second. Its damage formula, as shown below, is consistent and doesn't scale or stack if thrown multiple times. Therefore, it's best to throw it once and wait it out, throwing it again only when its time is close to running out. Megavirus is particularly useful against Chica's Magic Rainbow, as it can destroy the mini rainbows before they reach your party. The last move in the red category is Neon Wall 2, which, in my opinion, was placed in the wrong category. But since it's here, I'll cover it anyway. It does exactly what its description reads, which is invincible for 5 seconds. Note that this only stops damage. It doesn't negate existing effects, nor does it stop you from getting jump scared, gloomed, or insta-killed. While the regular Neon Wall can be gloomed off of you, Neon Wall 2 cannot, and will always last its standard 5 seconds. And there you have it. The rest of the color categories shouldn't take as long. Let me know which ones you'd like to see me cover next.